Hey, what's up out there? It's David Duford. We're on this YouTube channel. I help answer the questions, the most burning questions that life insurance agents and insurance agents in general have about selling and prospecting. So today's topic is answering the question about what is the most lucrative life insurance market. So the reason I'm putting this video together is really for those agents who are new to the insurance business or thinking about getting into the insurance business and want to know where the money's at in the insurance business. So I'm going to kind of take this in two different directions. I'm going to start legitimately with what I feel since selling since 2011 is the most lucrative market for insurance product sales. And then I'm going to go and kind of flip that on its end and kind of tell you why, even if you don't target a lucrative market, like I'll describe in a minute, while there's a lot of opportunity in just plain old boring mass marketing for life insurance. So let's go ahead and begin. So if I were to look at all of the different insurance agents I've talked to, met with, read about, and different niches in the insurance business I've ever run across, at least when it comes to life insurance, I would say hands down the most lucrative business to be in is the business market. So what is the business market? The business market for insurance is the concept of targeting business owners, typically small business owners, maybe small to medium business side owners, and helping them with their life insurance needs. Here's why this market is good to target from a prospecting standpoint, and then I'm going to talk about why it's good to prospect from a premium standpoint. So the main reason, first of all, the business market works great is because, first of all, business owners by default are generally people who make decisions on instinct, on gut instinct, and they make decisions quickly. Why is that the case? Well, because they own a business. They can't table this to a committee or bring this in front of a bunch of people. They're used to looking at a situation, feeling it up within a matter of seconds or minutes, and to determining what outcome and direction they want to go with all aspects of their business. Now, some people may think that's reckless, but this is just the nature of an entrepreneur. They're forced to make decisions, multiple ones, that are critical to the success or failure of a business on the spot all the time. So when you're dealing with a group of people that are inherently designed to be this way, when it comes to selling them insurance, you're going to have a lot more opportunity to sell more one-call close opportunities, especially when you're dealing with the principal or the entrepreneur, the owner itself. So this is great because they'll not only understand the importance of making a decision quickly, they also make for good prospects as well because they're salespeople like you. So when you walk in cold or cold call somebody, especially walking in cold, it's very likely that you'll get the attention for even just 30 seconds of a business owner because a lot of them respect the fact that you'll walk in cold and have the balls to walk and talk about selling them some insurance. And so they'll be much more willing to listen to you. Now, what's great on top of that is that a lot of these business owners, by default, because they're in a situation where they own their own business, do not have benefits. They don't have group insurance. They don't have a retirement plan. They don't have life insurance offered through work. They don't have executive bonuses. And a good life insurance agent that specializes in the business market can provide all of this stuff to the business owner, which usually has tremendously large opportunities for commissionable deals. Also, business owners have financial problems that need solving more so than a lot of regular Joe average people. For example, a lot of business owners are in debt. They owe somebody money. They finance their business through bank loans, and they need collateral protection through life insurance. They also, maybe they're in partnership, and there's a 50-50 split on ownership. Maybe they need help putting the legal documents together on a succession plan if one of the partners were to pass away, and who gets ownership and who buys out who. These are all, and they may need estate planning, retirement planning. Like I said, there's a lot of different opportunities to help the business owner. And the thing with the business owner is that they are running so hard constantly, working in their business, working on it, making it better, that they very rarely slow down to think about their own welfare. They're about their own family's welfare, why they're doing what they're doing. Ultimately, you do a business because you want to live the good life, right? You want to apply yourself, build something great, but you need to protect yourself on the way up too. And there's a great opportunity to help these people, to slow down, think about how important it is to set up a plan to do this, and to turn it around. So why is this business market great? Because there's a lot of different sales opportunities in it. I'm going to do a video later this week on my favorite top 31. I'm surrounded by books right now. I'm about to film the video, but different books on insurance salespeople and their successes, and different books just about insurance in general. And most of the most successful ones tend to be the one to make the most money on an individual production level, tend to sell to this business market. You'll see this time and time again. Very little of them sell to the consumer market. They are working with business owners and helping them with their problems. So real quick, to summarize this section, how to get started in it. A lot of the agents I mentioned in the books that I'm going to talk about in my next video, they worked up to this point. They didn't start off in the business market per se, but they got started into it. They learned about it, and they started to work up. They started to sell upwards. They increased or they leveled up in as far as who they were targeting. And but they developed their experience selling and the craft of selling insurance, and they realized they could apply the same craft to business owners with just more opportunity with it. And I think the best way to get started from a prospecting point is from the old-fashioned referral standpoint. If you're in the market, business owners, how to do the Project 100. It does work if you apply it. It's not something I necessarily recommend personally right out the gate. But if you know people who are business owners, ask to do, a quick discussion about what you do and how you may be able to help them. Do a fact finder. Definitely work with somebody who knows how to sell business insurance. I'm not the guy. There's a lot of different places you can go. I can refer them to you. But you want to work with somebody, hopefully hand in hand, that understands the craft of selling business owners, because it's a totally different marketplace. There's a lot more technical aspects to it to some extent, not always, but to some extent to be really proficient. And find somebody who really knows it. And the cold approach really does work. While I didn't sell business owners, I have insurance. I did sell business owners at one point in my life, between failing out of final expense and getting back in. And I found business owners to be immensely easier to prospect than I ever imagined. On cold approaches, on cold calls, a lot of the times if you get them on the phone and you go to a straight to the point pitch, they'll talk to you. They don't mind spending 20 minutes with you or 10 minutes with you to have you show them what you do. And a lot of these guys literally don't get called on life insurance agents anymore. I'm telling you, that's the other thing too. I'll mention that too. A lot of business owners you don't see life insurance agents hustling from a cold standpoint like in the old days. It used to be everybody and their mother sold insurance, but it's not like that anymore. So you're likely to be not likely to have as much competition as you might think you would. Now, to move this over to kind of flip this whole thing on its head. So, the whole purpose of this video is to talk about what market is the most lucrative. I believe, however, while I think business market is the most lucrative from a personal production standpoint, I think you can take most products with a little bit of ingenuity and creativity and make even a mass market type of product very lucrative. That's what we do here, or what I do and help my agents with. You have to have a system in place in order to make anything successful. And while a final expense deal or mortgage protection deal or even a Medicare supplement deal from a first-year commission standpoint may not be lucrative relative to a 4 or 5-figure annuity deal or a buy-sell arrangement deal or something like that, the truth is that the great thing about these markets, because they're such large masses, you can scale and you can increase your productivity to increase your production and make the business lucrative by sheer volume. It was John Savage, one of a great sales trainer for life insurance agents, been deceased a very long time. He came up with the quote, "Sell to the masses and then eat with the classes." So his philosophy was, you get out there and you sell Joe Average 6-pack life insurance, and you create a book of business from this. And here's why I think that this market is great. And the way I'm sharing this with you is through the most common ways nowadays to sell to the mass markets, which is mortgage protection or final expense. So both of these apply to both of these. So when I'm talking about both of these benefits, these equally apply. The first one is they offer scaling opportunity. This is what I think is the most profound benefit to selling mass market. So we have the capability to go into final expense or mortgage protection and scale and outsource different aspects of the business to where one can do a dramatic amount and a high volume of appointments and literally repeat the same process in a high volume manner to generate a large sum of premium. Back when I was working absolutely full time, doing a little bit of recruiting, I could work up to 30 or 40 appointments in final expense a week, and I could do that in 4 days. If I really wanted to, if I was like nuts, I could do 5 days a week, 10 appointments a day. And because I had the experience behind me, I could do that literally and be home around 6 o'clock every evening. I mean, that's how proficient I was at the process. Of course, it takes time to get to that point. But the point is 50 appointments a week is definitely possible in final expense. You have to outsource the appointment setting. You have to learn how to get to the point in your sales presentation, identify the winners and the losers as quickly as possible, and then close. And also some little nuances, which are teachable. It's not something you can't learn. Mortgage protection, similar to that, although not as many appointments, because many of the people we sell to in mortgage protection are already are still working, so you don't have as much daytime activity. And then with Medicare supplements, same deal. Same deal applies there. You can see a ton of people all day long, and it's just a process of scaling. So you can make up for the lower commission relative to what you would see in the business markets with just scale. And then the other thing that's interesting too with your more middle class or middle market type of opportunities in selling life insurance is that I think if you're attracted to recruiting, that these processes offer more capability to the newer agent to get involved with. The problem with selling to the business market is that there's a ton of knowledge that one requires. There's different certifications you should take, like the CLU. There's different knowledge bases you're going to have, like tax law. And there's all sorts of just more technical aspects of the business market that you have to know, but if you know, you're going to do really well. Whereas if you do middle market type of prospecting, you really don't need to have this intimate, detailed knowledge. You just need to know the basics, what your product does, what your competition does, and be able to demonstrate the value as to how it helps the client out if they buy from you versus the other guy. That can be learned in a day or two. It's not very complicated. It's very straightforward. And there's tons of people that are out there that can learn that too. And if you're somewhat proficient at this business, you can go out there and recruit people into this profession a lot easier than what you would do if you're in the business market. There's a lot more involved there. So I like the middle markets from a standpoint is that there's so many people that need life insurance, and there's not enough agents to serve them. And there's a lot of people that would love to have their own business that don't want to work for corporate America anymore. They know it's a dead end, and they want the freedom and the opportunity that being a business owner provides in the life insurance business in a mass market standpoint, like final expense, Medicare, or mortgage protection offers a great opportunity to do that. And you can recruit people into this business as a way to be a lucrative way to, I guess in a sense, sell it, but you're recruiting people to sell it. But leverage up and create passive income for yourself in ways that even personal production can't meet, especially with life insurance products. So I hope this gives you some background on what makes this business lucrative and how to make it lucrative, whether you go for the top of the food chain, which I would consider to be the business market, or whether you deal with just the masses and selling in a scaled up way and even leveraging potential for recruits. My name is Dave Duford. I want you to buy this book if you haven't already. It's called Interviews with Top Producing Insurance Agents. It is a culmination of 13 different interviews with a variety of different insurance agents across the country and their stories on how they became successful. If you're an agent who is new or struggling in the insurance business, this book is great. It's a great primer to tell you and teach you what's possible in the insurance business if you only persist and you dedicate yourself to the process and never give up. The second book here is for those of you who like the idea of selling final expense. It's called Selling Final Expense, or the official guide to selling final expense insurance. Both books, of course, I wrote. This one gives you my system for prospecting and marketing. I've taught hundreds and hundreds of agents since I began in the business. And you can find both in the links in the description box below. You can buy it in soft copy or paperback or as an ebook. The links are below. My name is Dave Duford. We're on this YouTube channel. I help agents like you succeed in selling insurance of whatever kind it is that you do. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.